So this is our episode guide thing for episode 19 of season 2, I Only Have Eyes for You. So I want to get started, just a few things that kind of bothered me about this episode. So would Willow really say anyways? I kind of feel like that's not Willowy. Why didn't each of the couples that were possessed, act out the scene in the same way? Like, shouldn't the actors have sort of, agreed on a certain way to deliver lines, or the director or something? I just thought that was weird. Because they were, reenacting something that actually happened in a particular way. I don't know, maybe the human that possesses them, sort of plays a role in it or something. But then they don't even remember it happening. So, I don't know. I think that's a production thing, not... The subtitles suggested, there's a ghostly female voice. What is a ghostly female voice? What does that even mean? Buffy stomps her heel and, walks out in one scene. And I think it's sort of when she was bad revisited, right? It's let it go, embrace the pain, spank your inner moppet, whatever, you know? So, some of the things that I really loved, though, are the Bronze's choice of musical performer. Very, cool, casual music. Awesome. Snyder's hilariously hateful conversation with Buffy. Xander's reaction when he gets pulled into the locker, if you just look at his face directly when that happens, hilarious. The dust that wafts out of the book. Xander shuts the book and all this dust wafts out of it. I think that so subtly adds to the scene, and I think it is a great little addition by, the set designers. Cordelia kept messing with the sore on her cheek, which I also think is really human and very Cordelia and great. Spike's helpless expressions in this episode are, I feel bad for him, even though he's evil, and, he loves Drew, and Angel took her, and that kind of sucks for him. Drew seems to kind of prefer Angel, and she's not really giving any fight to his very obvious advances. There's a history in this relationship, right? So, what is that, This is hundreds of years in the making. It just feels like Spike just feels like he can't do anything, and you kind of feel bad for him, even though earlier in the season he was trying to kill everybody we love, but dang it, Spike. Cordelia wipes the crumbs off of her pants immediately when she's eating, and I think that's so in character and great. And Buffy's face after she shoots Angel/Grace is amazing. And the puns in this episode are pretty fun. So, Willow makes a joke in this episode about Cordelia winning around in the broom closet. And I think that says more than we might think about initially. First, it shows that Xander's been able to tell Willow some things, right? And about what's been happening with him and Cordelia. Willow's in the know. That she's even knows about the closet adventures is indicative of how deep their friendship is. Xander was able to talk to her about it. I presume it's Xander. And even though Willow has strong feelings for him since forever, that was a conversation they had. And it also shows that Willow is getting over Xander. She's able to joke about it. That simple comment, sort of combined with how smitten Willow's expression is in the bronze, about how love can be nice. It seems to suggest that Willow's falling in love with Oz, and after seeing her for almost 2 seasons just be pining away after Xander and just really not finding her own personal romantic happiness, I think it's great to see that. What's the real life stuff going on in this episode? I think this episode has something to say about closed-mindedness. You know, there are many people in the world who are different than we are, right? And in fact, everyone is different than everyone else, and sometimes that makes things difficult, right? But sometimes others act in ways that we can't understand and we just can't forgive. And it can be hard to understand the motives that other people have. If we took more time to get to the root of problems and understand why people did the things that they did, we might be able to prevent horrible things from happening. If we could get people proper therapy and provide nurturing environments and full tummies for everyone, maybe there wouldn't be so much violence in the world. If people were understood and their needs were met, maybe? What do you think? I think this episode is also an interesting look at Buffy's feelings. She's having trouble forgiving herself for what happened to Angel. And she clearly feels responsible for that. The episode also does some interesting things with gender roles. Do you have any feelings about that? Do you feel like men and women have particular roles in society? We also see that Giles is having trouble moving on from Jenny. The pain is clearly still very raw. It speaks to how our grief can make us a bit blind to reality. When we're grieving, it can be hard to remember that while our feelings are real and merited, they might affect our decisions in ways that we would later regret. What has grief looked like in your life? Buffy's having a hard time forgiving herself. Her anger toward the spirit is misplaced anger toward herself, really. She feels like she killed Angel. But as any viewer knows, it was nearly impossible for Buffy to foresee what happened, and the blame that she places on herself isn't fair. Like many of us who blame ourselves for things after a loss, Buffy isn't thinking clearly. And neither is Giles. Each of them is misinterpreting what's going on in some ways, because their own feelings are getting in the way and clouding their perception of reality. Do you think sometimes your own feelings cloud your judgment? I'm going to place the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at the end of this video, because there is a suicide in this episode, and if you're struggling with depression, or we can be struggling with so many things in life that can make life hard and make it feel like we don't have a way out. And we certainly don't want to wait 50 years before someone can understand us and maybe change that story. This is real life though, so if that's something that you're struggling with or considering, I hope that, or if this episode triggered anything for you and you need to talk to someone, the phone number is 1-800-273-8255. 8255. That's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. 1-800-273-8255. Our next episode is Go Fish. It's definitely skippable, and I would skip it. It's a really bad episode. I don't think there's anything that happens that you might be confused about if you missed the episode. But if you're a particular fan of Wentworth Miller or Shane West, they're both in this episode early in their acting careers. So if you're a fan of them, you might appreciate it. I mean, the episode has some funny moments, but it's also the particular plot. It's a very skippable episode. But the rest of the season will be great. So I recommend you skip the next episode if you're not drawn to Wentworth Miller or Shane West, or you're not super in love with this series and okay with, putting up with one more filler episode. So see you next time. And I will fill you in on Go Fish if you decide to skip it. Okay, bye.